Now let's go to lesson 3, tools to assess curriculum. So assessment strategies. So what is assessment strategies? So it is the structures through which students' knowledge and skills are being assessed. So it refers to the different tools and techniques employed by the instructor to evaluate the students. So this evaluation is very important to gather awareness, uh, for example, in identifying the strength of the learners, identifying the weaknesses of the learners, and to recognize the unique learning needs of the individual learners. Now, there are types of assessment strategies. So, first we have the pencil and the paper strategy. So, example of this are essay, quiz, test, exam, and select response. Now, let's define the first one is its essay. So, essay is a writing sample used to assess students' understanding on how well the students analyze and synthesize information. Now, we all know what is essay writing is, right? It is writing your ideas, knowledge of the given content or the given test or subject matter. Now, the purpose of it is to assess the student's ability to communicate ideas in writing and to measure mastery of the complex information. It also measures the student's ability to develop program or questions or statement. Now, teachers should also consider that essay is issued to assess separately the student's ability to communicate ideas, write proficiency, and to comprehend the context. Now, we have another example. It is a select response. So, select response is also a pencil and paper assessment in which the students is to identify the one correct answer. So it tests the students' learning of the subject or the content knowledge. So it can be administered to a large number of students at the same time. So the teacher's role here is to identify the format like multiple choice, true or false, and it has consideration too. It should always be influenced by students' ability to read and understand the time. Now, selected response tests are those that are composed of questions to which there is typically one best answer. So, some of most commonly used selected response tests includes the multiple choice, the fill in the blanks, true or false, or the matching questions or items. Now we have the number 2, performance-based strategies. So example of the performance-based strategy is performance task and exhibition and demonstration. Now, what is performance task? Performance task is an assessment which requires students to demonstrate a skill. Now, it provides an efficient means of assessment where the skill cannot be demonstrated with a pencil and paper test because, as what its title is, performance task. So, actually, the students are expected to perform. Now, it can be diagnostic, formative, or summative. So, teacher's role is to observe the students performing a specific task. Yes, and it should provide an excellent way to assess our reasoning skills. So, a performance task is any learning activities or assessment that asks the students to perform or demonstrate their knowledge, understanding, and proficiency. So, performance tasks yield a tangible product or a performance that serve as the evidence of learning. Unlike in uh, the selected response, it is the multiple choice, right? The multiple choice, the matching type. that asks students to select from the given alternatives, while the performance task, it represents a situation that calls for a learner to apply their learning in the context. Now let's go to the exhibition and the demonstration. So it is a performance in which the students demonstrates individual achievements through application of specific skills and knowledge. It is to allow the students to show achievements of a skill or knowledge by requiring the students to demonstrate that skill or knowledge in use. Now, its characteristic is either an actual situation or a simulation. Now, do you know what is simulation is? So, simulation, it is the imitation of the operation of the real world process or the system over time. Like for example, just an example. So, a fire drill. So, in this situation, a fire drill is used to prepare people for an anticipated event. Now, a fire drill is actually like a performance that is to train people on what to do if a real fire would occur. In example, in your school or in the workplace or in any other situation or places. So it is a simulation. Like it is like to train us for these anticipated events. So the teacher's role is to assess how will a students perform a practice, behavior, or a skill. Now there are some consideration. It may be interdisciplinary and may require students in initiative and creativity. Now let's go to the third, the observational strategy. Example of this is observation. Observation is a process of systematically viewing and recording students' behavior, of making programming decisions, permits the entire teaching process by assessing teachers in making decisions required in effective teaching. Now, its purpose is to provide a systematic ongoing information about your students in relation to areas of strength and weaknesses, preferred learning styles, unique interests and learning needs, skills, attitudes, behavior, and performance related expectation. So it can be used every day to assess students of different age across subject areas and in different settings also. So the teachers should watch the students respond to any questions, study, complete assigned tasks, listen to students as they speak and discuss with others, and also made it is made using checklists, set of questions, and journal as a guide to ensure focus and systematic observation. It should not interfere with a natural learning environment. So basically, observational strategies, it is to observe the students in their everyday behavior on what they are in the classroom to identify their strengths and weaknesses for the teachers to improve their students in different aspects. So that would be my report and it will be continued by the next reporter.